Ram fans, it's Ruby Kaiser, and welcome to Rams Live. I'm joined by Cameron Connor here, our CSU women's basketball play-by-play analyst. Cameron, I'm going to just do a quick preview of the show, and then we're going to jump into some women's basketball, if that's okay with you.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So coming up next, we have an interview with Coach Ryan Williams. Cheerleader Avery Eccles is coming on. Nick Bassett, former CSU men's basketball player and spearheading our NIL efforts. Senior Spotlight with Hannah Ronsick. A Golden Palm, Ava Sprague is joining the show. Our CEO of Visit Fort Collins, Cynthia Eckler. And then we actually have an incoming women's basketball freshman, Kyla Hollier. I talked to her at the last women's basketball game. She's going to be joining the show. Ram legends Jennifer Buford and Farrah Wissinger, who are part of that 1999 Sweet 16 women's basketball team. And then we have a very special State of the Rams John Weber podcast teaser. That's going to be dropping on Monday. And, of course, our queen, Amy Parsons, is going to round out the show for us here today. We got to start with Cameron here. Cameron, you've been covering the women's basketball team for a little over a year now. I know you're from Colorado Springs, but what brought you to CSU, and what's it been like covering this team so far?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's all been about Learfield. I mean, they were basically my seed that grew me into existence is probably the way to describe it. And I always wanted to find a way back to Colorado, got it through an opportunity, and got connected with Brian Roth, and here I am, and I would never look back.
Well, it's been awesome having you a part of the team. I want to talk some women's basketball now. Big win against UNLV this week. Now they have to play Air Force today, an emotional senior day, emotional win on Wednesday. How do you handle all of those ups and downs and take care of it on the court?
No better time as far as controlling your momentum than beating UNLV. It took 11 attempts to get that done, and here it is in existence. 4 players in double digits. They've really just been rolling. I talked with head coach Ryan Williams before that game about the first time these two teams played back in January, and that was kind of the turning point for this team when they realized where their capabilities were and how they could kind of control things going forward. The tenacity was always there, but you could tell on the dial. I wouldn't necessarily call it flipping a switch, but they turned it up a little bit is the best way to describe it. And ever since then, their chemistry has been clearly almost flawless. They took control of that game after not having a lead for the first 17 seconds. They never looked back after that. They set the tone from the beginning, and they're trying to go against a team that kind of gave them the business. It was a close win this first time against the Air Force Falcons. It was the Milani Perry show. She had 31 points. I talked with head coach Ryan Williams, and it'll be on the CSU pregame show, but they have an identity of not wanting to have that happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you about Melania Perry. She's been quite the force for the Falcons, 31 points in the first game, one of the best shooters in the conference. What is it going to take to slow her down a little bit in Moby today?
It's a little bit of, kind of looking at the tape against Wyoming. They beat Wyoming this past week on Wednesday, and finding that offensive diversity for the Falcons has been a challenge. They found it against the Cowgirls. They had 18 points from Emily Adams. Jordan Devon chipped in with 16 points right underneath her. Melanie Perry only had 9, and they got a victory. That hasn't happened that often for the Falcons this year. So when you look at that in the tape, it's not just the question of shutting down Melanie Perry and trying to force someone else to beat you anymore. It's a situation of full, attentive, offensive, defensive mindsets. That's how they're going to have to do it today against this team that's beat them here last year. They don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The Air Force team is kind of deceiving with how big of a threat that they can be today. We've got 6 seniors that we're honoring today. You've been able to cover this team this season. What stands out to you about that group specifically?
Leadership that reflects from top all the way down to bottom. When you have a senior class like this, of course, they're honoring 6 of them today. It makes everything easier when you have a breath of fresh air from your underclassmen to be able to rely on a senior class that when you need a big-time shot, when you need a big rebound, when you need someone to set the tone. Let's take that example against UNLV previously when you have a situation where Lexus Bargesser on the offensive end, crazy first quarter, crazy first half, 16 points in that first half, and Maddie Bragg was doing it in the paint on the defensive end. You could just see the overall mentality of the team, how aggressive they were from tip to the final buzzer. That's what it's going to have to take, and that's what kind of thing seniors can do for this team, and that's why this squad, specifically all 6, are very special.
Well, thank you so much, Cam. We appreciate your insight. And doesn't this guy just have the best broadcaster's voice? You'll have to tune in to the Mountain West Network when you turn on the game and recognize his voice from the Rams Live pregame show. We'll be back after this with an interview with Coach Ryan Williams. Hey Ram fans, it's Ruby Kaiser with Rams Live here with head women's basketball coach Ryan Williams before they take on the Air Force Falcons tomorrow. Ryan, you guys had a huge win against UNLV. How do you manage that emotional come down going into this game to take care of the Falcons?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it was an emotional game, and it was a physical basketball game. So, it's kind of getting your mind right again and resetting for a new opponent, and then getting your rest and recovery. But our kids have done a really good job all year of resetting. We've had big wins this year, and there's always been that next game. And the biggest thing, let's go 1-0. And you can't let the outcome of the last game, whether it's a win or loss, affect how we go about our business against Air Force.
Perry, one of the best players on the Falcons, but also one of the best offensive threats in the conference. How do you slow her down in Moby tomorrow?
She's a very good player, and she's kind of been an ornery one against us. She's just got all the game, and we switched Bargesser on her last time around in the second half, and that was quite effective. We're going to put some length on her. Hopefully that slows her down, but it's got to be more of a collective effort. If she gets to her spots, she's going to score it. So we've got to prevent her from getting to where she can really impact the game offensively, and that's going to take everybody.
5-6 as of late. Do you feel like your team is playing their best basketball at the end of the season, and what do you hope to still see growing into the tournament?
Yeah, I like how we're playing a lot. I mean, we're playing with really good execution. We're taking care of the basketball. We're guarding well. Offensively, we've kind of taken another step, and that's just the kids playing. The chemistry's grown. Pretty confident group right now, and they're playing like that. And so it's fun to coach them. It's fun to watch them. And so we're going to need to continue to build on that, because this is the time of year that we need to really be clicking. And there can be zero hesitation in your mind on what we're doing and what your game's all about.
Absolutely, and you're honoring 6 seniors tomorrow, 3 of which have been with the program since they were freshmen, Marta, Jaden, and Hannah. What can you say about their career progression and who they are as people?
Well, yeah, Marty, Jay, Hannah, first of all, they're going to graduate from Colorado State. How cool is that? And then to be here 4 years. In this day and age, that's a little unique, to be honest with you. So, those 3 have won a lot of basketball games for us and been a part of a lot of really good seasons. But as good of basketball players as they are and how they've impacted our program, they're by far better people. And that's what we're most proud about. They're going to go make a huge impact in the world. There's no question about it. And, we're just really happy that they're graduating as CSU Rams.
And then you have 3 that have joined the team lately, Lexis, Lexi, and Maddie. They've been great additions and really fun additions to the group. What can you say about them, and what have they brought to the team in this last season?
Yeah, I mean, equally as important. And although they've been here 1 year, the impact that they've had has been tremendous. And it's going to be fun to celebrate those 3 as well. And in this day and age where the transfer portal is just part of it, I'm really proud of how we have selected those 3, and we're proud that they chose Colorado State. And we've done a really good job of choosing the right kids that fit our culture. And Lexis, and Deeds and Bragg, we got so many of them. They have been tremendous, and they've just helped build our culture into more.
It's pretty cool how you kind of have the mix of both. You've been able to keep those girls from the start, and then you have 3 who have come in and made a big impact utilizing kind of both of those aspects of college sports now.
And that's just where the game is at right now. And can you blend, so to speak, the new with the old? And we've done a good job of that. Our coaches have done a good job of that, but our players, they're the big reason why the chemistry is where it's at and why this team's playing good basketball.
Well, thanks, Coach. Good luck tomorrow against Air Force.
We'll take it. Go Rams.
Thanks.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Rams Live. We've got senior cheer captain Avery Eccles with us here. Avery, one thing about you is you're just so magnetic. Your personality is so
your eye just catches it when you're cheering. What is it like to maintain that kind of energy, and how do you do that in tight moments?
Yeah, thank you so much. The atmosphere in Moby Arena is always crazy, and the fans make it super easy to be excited and help our teammates. It's really just about focusing on the athletes on the court and doing whatever I can to help them succeed and get those wins.
And you're from Colorado. Was being a CSU cheerleader always on your plan or on your slate, or how did this come to be?
I knew when I was looking into colleges I wanted to stay in Colorado, and after watching the CSU cheer team perform at my state finals and looking into CSU, I knew that this was the place I wanted to be, and after making tryouts in May, I knew that this was the place I was going to be for the next 4 years.
Well, you've definitely made CSU your home. One of my favorite things about watching the cheerleaders is seeing the little girls that come up to you guys, or they come up with their pom-poms and they're doing the same moves as you. What has that impact on the little kids been like?
Oh yeah, it's always so awesome to see the little kids in uniforms coming up to us. They're so excited, and they come to our clinics and get the poms. It really has a big impact to see that we're doing what they could possibly want to do in the future and just make the whole game for them, especially because some of those kids are coming to see us, and that's an awesome experience.
When you were little, do you remember going to games and seeing the cheerleaders and thinking that's what I want to do?
Oh yeah, definitely. The cheerleaders and supporting the other athletes is definitely something I've always wanted to do.
I love that. Even when I was little, I would show up to the games in my little cheerleader outfit, and I had my pom-poms, and I was ready to go. In another life, I think I could have been a cheerleader.
Oh, definitely. You could definitely do it.
Cheerleaders do so much in the community beyond the games. Can you just give us a rundown? You guys are so busy. I'm always like, these girls are everywhere. Everyone gives the student athlete credit for their schedule, but you guys don't always get your flowers for what you do. What does a season look like with all the stuff outside of games?
Oh yeah, thank you. Every school event that you can think of, we're at trying to support just everyone on campus and at school is super important to us. A few things that stick out is definitely doing like Special Olympics or Reading with the Rams. I think make a big impact for us for community service.
And you've studied nutrition science with a sports and wellness concentration. What is it looking like after graduation for you?
I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing after graduation yet.
Fair.
I'm really just focused on finishing out this year, getting that degree, but I'm super excited to see what the future could hold for me.
Absolutely. We've got the Mountain West tournament coming up for men's and women's basketball. That's something that you'll get to participate in this year. It's kind of your last hurrah as a CSU cheerleader. What is that event like, and what emotions do you think you're going to feel?
Yeah, definitely going to be like a bittersweet moment for me. It's going to be sad to finally retire the uniform, but I'm super excited and grateful that I get the opportunity to go and watch our Rams in Vegas at the Mountain West tournament, and I'm just going to try and take in every last moment and support them on the court as best I can and just have fun while I'm out there.
I love that. And you're a flyer, which I feel like is something that could be kind of scary for some people. What is it like? Have you always been a flyer? How do you walk us through what it's like to be thrown up in the air like that?
Oh yeah, as much as I wish I could be a base, I'm not exactly at the height for it. But being a flyer is so awesome. It's just about trusting my teammates and trusting that they'll catch me and grab my feet and do their job underneath me. It's definitely intense, but I love it. I love being able to see the crowd that's in Moby Arena and just waving to everyone and seeing the smiles and how full this place can get.
So fun. 4 years as a cheerleader at CSU. What's one memory that stands out more than the others?
Honestly, I think a memory that stands out the most would definitely be watching our men's win the Mountain West tournament last season. That was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm so grateful I got to be there for that, and definitely every time we get to storm the court with the students when we beat those Buffs.
I love that. Those are some great memories. It was so great having you on the show. Thanks for joining us,
so
Avery.
much.
Well, good luck today. We'll let you get back to your pom-poms. We'll be back after this short break, and then Nick Bassett will be joining the show. everyone. Welcome back to Rams Live. We have a long-awaited guest with us here, CSU men's basketball alumni Nick Bassett, who is now leading some of our NIL efforts for CSU. Nick, welcome to Rams Live. What has taken so long to get you in the chair?
You know, that's a great question. Don't have a perfect answer for that one, but excited to be here. Thanks for having me, Ruby.
Of course. Can you give us a little bit of a rundown on your role with Rams Sports Properties in Learfield?
For sure, yeah. I mean, behind the curtains of NIL, there's a lot of things that happen. Rev share, brand deals, brand ambassadorships. A little bit, to peel back a little bit more, we work with our corporate partners here in Fort Collins and Colorado, across the country, to align student athletes with NIL opportunities. That looks many different ways. It could be socially, it could be in person for activations. But yeah, that's the biggest thing on the floor, is to align our brand partners with student athletes here at CSU.
Yeah, and you've done a really great job specifically with our women's basketball team. I went and chatted with Ben, and he showed me your little spreadsheet, and he's like, all of that pink is women's basketball deals. I'm like, wow, and I've definitely seen it on my feed. What are some of the partnerships that you've been able to organize for them, and what makes those girls marketable?
For sure, yeah, and that's a great thing. It's great timing. We're here at Senior Day for the ladies. They just do an awesome job. They're so personable. They want to show up. They be there on time. They're awesome on social. They embrace the opportunity. Not to say the others don't, but get a couple of the really great ones, and they're one of two teams that have a team-wide deal. Kia's a sponsor of today's game. They sponsor every athlete on the women's basketball team, so they're all getting a piece of that pie and have an opportunity to work with Kia on the NIL deal.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and I think Fort Collins does such a great job of supporting our female sports, so being able to connect those girls with opportunities is pretty amazing.
Definitely.
You were a student athlete here. We can't regret to mention that, of course. How does your experience of being on the men's basketball team and going through life as a student athlete help you in your career today?
Yeah, I think two separate things. I think the first thing is I learned how to manage my time really, really well. Just like I do, the time we spend on the floor and weights and practice, making sure our bodies are right, and the time in the classroom is equally as important. So time management was a really big thing, and the second thing was the relationships that I created. Quite frankly, wouldn't be sitting here with you if Ali and Nico didn't put me in the position to do that. Met a lot of awesome people. Yeah, we had the opportunity to meet a lot of awesome people, and you and I talk about it. So I think those are the two biggest things: time management and the relationships that I have grown here in Fort Collins.
Absolutely. And speaking of Fort Collins, what makes CSU a valuable place to have NIL deals when you're looking at local brands or national brands?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that we are the biggest and most visible. When I say that, I say CSU is the most visible arm in Northern Colorado, right? There's a lot of opportunities in Denver with pro sports teams, but we really dominate the Northern Colorado region. And from a local business perspective, I tell people it's a no-brainer, right, to work with our student athletes. Our coaches do such a good job of getting really good kids here, and you know that, your teammates and my teammates as well. That's one of the biggest and most important things, is the type of people that we get here on campus with our student athletes, and they're always awesome. And I think they do a great job of connecting, and a lot of times they do the selling for me. They sell themselves.
That's awesome. And this is kind of a fun question, but if I was a business owner and I had $100,000 to give to you right now, and I said I want to impact CSU NIL, what would you tell me?
Man, that is an awesome question. I would say I think there's two big things that we can split that into. It's recruiting and then retention, right? How do we get the best student athletes across the country here in Fort Collins? And then the second piece of that, $100,000, I'd like to separate and say, how do we keep our student athletes here in Fort Collins? The transfer portal provides a tough situation and a hard thing for our coaches to navigate, to be able to work with a brand partner to say, hey, we have a connection with this student athlete. They're awesome. They're playing really good. They're really good in the classroom. How do we keep them here, right? I'd love to use a chunk of that money to recruit that student athlete here, and then also use another part of that money to keep them here, right, with retention. So that's how I break it down for you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your insight today, Nick. It was really great to hear about what you're doing, and awesome to have you as a Ram still, obviously.
Thanks, Ruby. No, I appreciate it. It's been great.
Well, it was nice to have Nick joining Rams Live here. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back live right after this.
Hey Ram fans, I'm Ruby Kaiser with Rams Live, here with women's basketball player Hannah Ronsick before they take on the Air Force Falcons on Senior Day tomorrow. Hannah, you're now considered one of the best defenders in the Mountain West. I know that wasn't something that was necessarily on your radar when you came in. Yeah. When you look at that progression as a defender as a whole, what was the biggest turning point for you?
I would say just coming in as like an underclassman, obviously a freshman, sophomore, I had a lot of super experienced girls ahead of me, and I kind of needed to find a way to see playing time my freshman year. So I think, I like kind of talked to coach, and he told me like the way to get on the floor would be through defending, rebounding, obviously being able to stretch the floor and make my threes. So I think I really just locked in my freshman year, especially because it is a big jump too, coming from high school to college athletics. So that was a big growth year for me. But yeah, my freshman, then going into my sophomore year was a big turning point for me.
You had the very unique opportunity last year to play with your sister. Not a lot of people get to do that. When you look back at that season, what was the best part of that?
There was literally so much about last season that I missed and enjoyed. But I would say just like overall, like kind of getting to live with her again and just getting to do like high school over with her. Again, just like experiencing almost like childhood. We just got to do so many things that I missed, and like getting to go to dinner and shopping together and sleepovers. So yeah.
You guys have a great senior class that's going to be honored tomorrow. Two of the other players you've been with since your freshman year, Jaden and Marta. When you look at your memories from your 4 years, what are some things that stand out more than the others?
Yeah, we've had such an amazing 4 years here. I mean, obviously, living in the dorms together, we were like the quad suite mates. So that was such a fun year, freshman year, like the whole time. And then we got to go to Spain together. That was a big highlight. And yeah, just playing games and winning here in Moby has been such a highlight, and I'm going to cherish so many memories with them.
When you look at the basketball on-court aspects of your career, what are you the most proud of?
Oh, gosh. Honestly, I'm really proud of the Gonzaga game. We were down 20 at half and won it overtime. That game is going to be a highlight for me for my whole basketball career. Yeah, I would say that's my main game.
That was a great game. I remember watching that. I was like on the edge of my seat. I'm like, come on, girls.
You're like, oh god.
No, it was awesome. I love it. You are going to be honored tomorrow. Obviously, an emotional day. What kind of feelings have you been feeling this week leading up to it, and what do you think you're going to feel when your name is called tomorrow?
I mean, honestly, I don't think it's fully set in yet that this is going to be my last game in Moby, because I've obviously been here for 4 years, and I haven't wrapped my head around this is literally my last time playing in Moby. So I'm definitely going to be very emotional. I'll probably cry tomorrow, but yeah, it's real for sure.
Well, Hannah, we're so proud of you, and we can't wait to cheer you on. You've had such a great career as a Ram, and it's been fun for me. We were athletes together at the same time, so it'll be fun to see you guys get honored tomorrow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll be back right after this. What a cool family connection. Were there any stories that your mom or dad told you from their time at CSU that made you think oh, I need to be a Ram?
They really just told me about all the amazing people they met. I think the Rams community is just so great, and they've kept lifelong connections from their time in athletics, and so I really wanted that as well, and so it's really excited to be here.
You mentioned that you guys do a different dance at each game day. That's a lot of work. What goes into the preparation for these dances, and what does it take to remember? I like dance moms. They have to remember your dance every week.
Yeah, it's a lot. We start prepping our dances in July. Wow. We learn them in July in the summer for football. Basketball's a little different because we don't know when we're going to perform, but we'll prepare months in advance, and sometimes they'll say, hey, can you do a performance tomorrow? And we have to throw something together super quick. So lots of prep goes into it, lots of hard work. We've got such a professional, amazing group of girls that is able to just get it done. So we're really proud that we can give you a new dance every time and be entertainment.
So yeah. There's been some where I'm like, oh my gosh, these are such great dances. I love, you guys had cowgirl boots on, you guys did a little country dance, I think it was Wyoming maybe.
Yes, Ag Day, always the boots.
I love it. Is there a performance that you've loved the most throughout your career?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. One that really stands out to me was at the Arizona Bowl last year. We were performing with the CSU marching band, and then you look up and you see Snoop Dogg right up there conducting for us. So that was a crazy, surreal performance that I'll never forget. That was awesome. Yeah.
What song were you guys performing to?
It was a band medley to all of Snoop Dogg's biggest hits. So yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was a great time.
I wish I was there. see that. That sounds so cool.
Great.
I love that. One of my favorite parts about the cheerleaders and the poms is the little girls that show up to watch you guys. They bring their pom-poms, they copy your routines, they come up to you, and it's the cutest thing ever. What is that specific impact been like for you?
It just means so much to me because it's kind of a full circle moment. Like that was me. I was the little girl that brought my pom-poms to CSU games, and I looked up so much to those girls, and to be one of those for somebody else, it's just such a full circle moment. It means the world to me, truly.
So amazing. And you guys had the chance to be honored at the last men's basketball game for senior day. I know you still have a little bit ahead of you, but what were the emotions like on that day?
I feel like it really just hit me then. We were lucky to get recognized at football, but it didn't really hit me because we had 6 months left, and so walking across the court with my family, it really just hit me. I can see the end in sight. This is almost done, so a lot of bittersweet feelings. I'm excited to move on and graduate, but I'm sad that I'm leaving this whole experience behind.
I know, there's nothing quite like your time as a student at CSU. I miss it all the time. I see you guys, I'm like, wait, I
I'll miss
should
it
be there.
forever.
We have the Mountain West tournament coming up. That'll be your last hurrah as a Golden Pom. What is that experience like, and what are you looking forward to for that tournament?
I'm so honored to be able to go. A lot of universities don't bring their dance teams or cheerleaders, so CSU is amazing for inviting us there and taking us there. It's such a big honor. I'm just so excited to be there with my team and cheer on the Rams one more time in uniform and just go out with a bang. So.
Well, you are quite the impressive young lady. You can tell this girl was made for camera. So
Thank
if you
you.
don't have a plan to do that, that can always be your backup plan.
I might be stuck on that.
So you studied business administration and marketing at CSU. What are you looking for after graduation?
I love anything to do with social media. I think it provides such a big platform for people and businesses. So anything with social media, I'm really excited to dive deep into that in my professional career.
Well, you definitely would be a rock star at that. I can already tell.
Thank you so
great.
much.
Thank you so much for joining Rams Live. Ava.
Thank you, Ruby.
It was so great to have Ava on Rams Live today. Next up, we'll have our incoming women's basketball freshman, Kyla Hollier. Woo! Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Hey, Ram fans, welcome back to Rams Live. We have our CEO of Visit Fort Collins, Cynthia Eichler, with us today. Cynthia, thank you so much for joining the Rams Live show.
You are welcome. I'm delighted to be here.
So great to have you. Can you walk us through what a typical day looks like for the CEO of Visit Fort Collins? What's your guys' mission like as a group?
Yes. So I think our mission is short and easy. We are to help Fort Collins thrive. We do that in a couple of ways. One is economic vitality, and the other one is connecting guests and visitors and meeting attendees to our community in very meaningful ways. I don't know that I have a typical day, which I like. I am not a very good sit and do the same thing all the time. So much like you, I think I get a lot of variety, which I just love.
I'm with you. I like having the variety
Yes.
as well. It's pretty fun. What are some key initiatives that you guys are working on right now?
We're always looking at, it sounds funny, but off season. How do we get people here? Not in the summer. Summer often takes care of itself, right? So we want people to come. This year's a little easier. We've got nicer weather. Visitation is actually up. Another thing that's super fun that's coming is the Sundance Film Festival. So we're working with the organizers to make sure that Fort Collins is in the mix. How can we support the festival as well as get people to visit Fort Collins?
That's really cool. I forgot that the Sundance Film Festival was coming.
It
What a
is
cool
coming.
event.
Yep.
I did keep that on my radar. You're so right about Fort Collins in the summer. I think when I was getting recruited as a volleyball athlete, I came out in July and I was like, I'm sold. Write the
Yep.
papers. I'll
Yep.
sign right now.
It helps a lot, doesn't it?
So fun. And when we look at CSU Athletics in partnership with Visit Fort Collins, how do these game days and big events that the athletics put on affect the economic impact of the city?
We've always known that they have had good economic impact. We just did a study with a group called Oxford Economics, which are about as golden as you can get. We got results last week, and we know that, for instance, 2025 football season created an additional $60.1 million for our community.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
That's incredible. And this football season is lining up to be an exciting one. So.
Absolutely. So all of our sports make a difference in not only our lifestyle as residents, but those who come and enjoy time with us in Fort Collins.
And how does Colorado State University as a whole shape the national image of Fort Collins?
They're intertwined. I think Fort Collins would not be Fort Collins without CSU, and I don't think CSU would be CSU without Fort Collins. We do not take that for granted. We make sure that we work together in the best possible way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining the show, Cynthia. It was great to have you on. We love Fort Collins. It's what makes CSU great. You put the nail on the head with that one. We'll be right back after this short break. Thank you so much. I'm going to do this first. Thank you. So great.
well.
And then I'll.
Okay. I'm so nervous right now. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, be cool here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rams Live. We have two Ram legends in the house. I'm so excited to have you ladies here. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Yes, thank you for having us. Thank you very much.
We've got Jen Buford with us here today, and we have Farrah Wissinger, both CSU women's basketball alumni and also softball All-American in the house here. When you guys were part of that 1999 Sweet 16 women's basketball team, when you look back to that run, what sticks out the most?
I always think about my teammates. They were the reason that we had such a great time. We were really close, and getting there was incredible. It's not like nothing has ever happened. And I would say, like, honestly, the fan base, I remember, like, running out on the court during that year, and the entire arena would be filled with people, right? And that was before the game even started. I mean, they had to bring in other bleachers. It was fabulous. I mean, it was a great time to be here. Yeah, we had some pretty killer sellout crowds. Yeah.
What an awesome experience. And Jen, you were an All-American softball player for 4 years, and then you came and walked onto the women's basketball team. What inspired you to do that after such a successful softball career?
Yeah, you know, I played high school basketball, and, you know, I used to go to the games all the time. And I remember thinking back saying, okay, would I ever regret not trying to walk onto that team, right? Would I go through the season, sit in the stands, and look down there and be like, I wonder if I could have made that team. And so one day I walked up the stairs, I saw Coach Collin, and I said, Coach, I'd like to give you, ask for an opportunity to at least have a walk-on opportunity. And he was, you know, like, gladly, like, you know, if you're in the spot, you're in the spot. And fortunately, I did enough to be on the team, and it's very blessed to do so. She was a great addition. We loved having her on our team. I was fortunate, certainly.
I love that. That's such a cool thing that not a lot of people get to say that they've been a part of. And you guys are clearly very good friends. When did your friendship start, and how have you maintained this friendship through the years?
Our friendship started at a pumpkin carving contest that our team had. Yeah. So that's like October of her senior year, my sophomore year. We made the Damn the Ram, the logo, in a pumpkin, and we are champion pumpkin carvers. Fun fact. I think we are forever pumpkin champions here. I don't know. I mean, I think there's some award. I don't know if there's a plaque somewhere, but we're for sure on this.
Like a banner or something. I mean,
yes, our number may not be up there, but sooner or later should be a pumpkin plaque. And then we kind of fell out for a long time, and then she has extended family in Toledo, Ohio, when I was living there, and so we got reconnected there, and we talk quite a bit whenever I'm in town. I always get connected with her, so a day hasn't passed. Yeah. I mean, there's a lifelong friend, and she'll always be, right? So.
I love that. I was a student athlete here at CSU too, so one of my favorite things is having these Ram Legends back together and seeing the friendship and the bond that's twisted over the years. It's really incredible. And speaking of, today is a Ram Legend game. What is it like to be back in Moby Arena, and how important is the connection of alumni with our current student athletes?
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously all of us should be connecting again, but more importantly, also having that connection with the current players. You know, all the coaches have done a really good job of continuing to get alumni back here, right? And I think that's just a vital part of the continued growth, right? It's not when you graduate and you're done playing. I mean, this university welcomes you for years to come, and just a matter of making the effort to come. And we have a shared experience. We have a bond that's going to last forever, no matter where we are in the world, no matter what we're doing. We all have this gym and this arena and this experience to go back on with every player that's ever come through here. Yeah.
That's a really great point. And you mentioned the crowds, and we mentioned the Sweet 16 run. When you're back in Moby Arena and when you're connecting with these student athletes, what memories from your time stand out more than others?
They're not ones I can talk about. They're kind of ridiculous, and I'm maybe more proud than I should be about them. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, we were obviously successful, and it was a beautiful time to be here. And I think that, seeing the success the team's having, right, is always, I mean, we're proud, right? We're proud for generations that were before us, and we're proud for those generations that are after us, right? And so when we can be supportive, we can still stay connected. That's obviously very important to us.
That's so great. I love that you mentioned that maybe off the basketball memories, because a lot of Ram Legends come back and they're like, well, Old Town, and I can talk about that, but...
No, let's just say that we were very good dancers. We would get pumped up before games and have, like, dance parties in the locker room. I do not dance good, but I dance hard.
I love that. Well, thank you ladies so much for joining Rams Live. Have the best time today at the game and in Fort Collins. I hope you guys get a chance to go to Old Town and bust a move after this.
For sure. No one has to see that.
All right, well, we'll be back after this break. Thank you so much. I was going to get a picture really quick. Okay. Sanders, what do you guys want? Sanders does it, yeah. Welcome back to Rams Live, everyone. It has been far too long since Miss President Amy Parsons has blessed the Rams Live feed, so we had to get you back here for Senior Day.
So good to see you. It's such a, Senior Day is always hard. We're so happy for them. We're so proud of them. We're going to miss these ladies so much.
I know. It is a little bit of an emotional, bittersweet day.
Yeah.
When we look at this senior class, what stands out to you the most about these ladies?
Well, of course, we've got our legacy players. We've got Hannah and Jaden and Marta. I'm going to miss them so much. They mean so much to our community. And then what Lexus and Lexi have brought to us this year, along with Maddie, they've really added so much to the team. They're playing like a team. They're a powerhouse. And, they're also just amazing students. This is a team that is reaching their goals with a 3.5 GPA.
Love it.
So they're succeeding in the classroom. They're succeeding on the court. And, it's an emotional day today to see them all play together for the last time. But I can't wait to see what these ladies do out in the world when they graduate from CSU.
Absolutely. And Moby Arena is such a special place to play, and I think that's always the biggest emotional factor is the last time that they'll be in here today.
It is, but I think it says so much about the CSU community, how much we support women's sports. We give them sellout games routinely. The students support them. We've got our band up here supporting them. So I think we'll see that play out too when we get into the tournament, which is week after next.
Absolutely.
Right on. It's coming fast.
I know it is coming fast. And you mentioned the academic success of this team. As a Division I basketball player, it takes a lot to balance the academics and on-court success. What does it mean that this team has done so well?
It's really inspiring how busy these ladies are, and you know that as an athlete yourself, just how much you have to juggle to play at this level, and then to succeed in the classroom at the level they are as well. And really credit to the coaching staff. They coach the whole student, right? They coach the athlete, they coach the student, and that's credit to the staff and to the community all around them that they're able to succeed in their studies. And they're taking majors all across the entire university, biomedical engineering and business and you name it, and they're succeeding. And I just have no doubt they're going to do amazing things after graduation.
And it's really incredible. And we were talking off camera before this Mountain West tournament coming up. You're going to be there. What excites you the most about this team's opportunity in this tournament? And I think people don't realize how much ball knowledge Amy Parsons has. That's something that I've noticed after talking to you.
I love the tournament, Ruby. I think the college basketball in general is just so exciting at tournament time. And I think, this is our last Mountain West tournament, and that's really important. We're moving to the Pac-12 July 1st. So next year, our tournament will be in the Pac-12. And, what people may not realize is that we're in tournament time. There's a lot that happens. All the presidents are there. All the ADs are there. Our media talent is there. A lot of business goes on. Our sponsors are there. So we're watching, our amazing players doing amazing things out in the tournament. But there's so much happening as well. Our alumni come out in full force. All of our fans are there. The families of the students are there as well. And so many other CSU students, the equipment managers, people working in media, everybody's there. It's a really special time. And, this team is on a streak. The win that we just had against UNLV is really significant, so I'm really excited to see what they're going to be able to do in this tournament.
I am too, and we're getting close when we have to go out there and congratulate those seniors.
That's right.
Last question, what is your message to those seniors on Senior Day?
Well, you're a Ram for life, so be back here. We can't wait to see them succeed in the world, but they'll always be part of our community. We're so proud of them, and they need to come back to Moby and sit with us and cheer on the future teams.
I love it. Thanks so much for joining the show.
Thanks, Ruby. And you're doing a great job, too. Yeah, you've just been killing it this year on Rams Live, so congratulations to you, too, Ruby.
Thank you. You're the best. Well, we'll be right back after this, and then it'll be time for some women's basketball.
Go Rams.
Okay.
Did you get it? Did you get one, Lucy? You're good? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for tuning into this Rams Live pregame show, our very last show of the women's basketball season before they take on Air Force on Senior Day. We had such a great lineup of guests today. It was so awesome to include those Spirit members, Rams legends, Nick Bassett, Amy Parsons, of course. Then we had Cynthia Eichler from Vincent Fort Collins. It was a great show from top to bottom. I really appreciate everybody tuning in and following along with Rams Live this women's basketball season. We'll be heading to the Mountain West tournament for the women and the men, so make sure to follow at CSU Rams Live so you don't miss any of those Mountain West tournament updates. And I think both of our teams are getting pretty hot here at the end of regular season, so I'm excited to see them compete in the tournament this year. Like I said, make sure to follow at CSU Rams Live. We'll have game updates for this game as well. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ruby Kaiser from Rams Live. Go Rams.